Good evening, folks. Tonight we're going to be playing a wee game called Gold Hunter. PC game available on Steam. So I've been playing this game for quite a while and found it pretty cool. But everybody on YouTube that plays it seems to have so many issues. Hopefully I can avoid quite a few of them. Let's get started here. My name's Prince Aaron. I'm from Northern Ireland. We're going to create a wee multiplayer server here called Hive 420. There's no password on it, so if anybody wants to join in, feel free. More than welcome. Let's get started. Hopefully this will be a bit of fun. Oh, excuse the recording on the phone, it's necessary at the moment. Just grabbing my ashtray later so I can smoke a doobie. I'm sure you can all guess I'm 420 friendly. Here we go. So in the beginning here, just want to grab the wee truck and go to the shop. We'll grab some basic equipment here. Never really worry about closing the door, there's not much point. Never was, most cars will have drivers, and I see there. Wouldn't worry about staying on. Leaving the car on, doesn't use much fuel. So first thing you want to do here is go into the ATM. You have $1,000 here, so take it all. Just like so. There you go. Back out of there. And here. Lay your head banker. Buy the mats. I buy the blue ones because they're easy to see. Grab a shovel. The middle one, the red one, has the largest capacity at 3 litres. Grab a box of jars. What else do we need? Grab a hot pan for cleaning out gold and putting into those jars we just lifted. We need scales for weighing our gold later. A mold for making gold bars. go with a small furnace for now just because of the cost. Grab the gas hose and the gas bottle next, which are all right here. You cannot at the moment refill the gas bottle, so you can sell these at the fuel station for I think $25 or $50 of a refund when they're empty. So all you do is take them back. Okay, we need water pump. And at the minute these run on petrol because they're petrol generators. So we get the pump, we get the hose to run from the generator to the high banker. We get the big blue hose, which goes up to the water supply with the water filter on the end of it. I can't remember offhand if I need a power generator this early, but I'm just going to buy one anyway. And a power cable. This may look like a lot of equipment, but we'll fit it all into the back of the truck. So total $4,206. Easily affordable. So ideally buy a couple of these as well. The idea behind buying two is we put raw dirt into one before putting it through the high banker, and we empty out the nuts into the second one, so we can fill this right up before we do a big clean out. They're the biggest containers available at the moment. Don't really need anything else right now. So let's go and pay. $4,264. We had $6,000. Leaves us roughly around $1,700. So let's add some of this to our inventory, so we don't have to put it into the truck. Some of the bigger pieces you will have to place into the truck. They're just too big to go into your inventory. So they're quite easy to stack in such a manner. They will happily sit there. leaving a little bit of space empty at the back of the truck here. Good reason for it. Before we go up to the mining site, we also need fuel. So we're gonna go and get that now. I find it easier to drive like this than inside the vehicle. On the right is the equipment yard with quite a lot of very nice little bits and pieces. We'll visit that later. And just on the right again here is a gold shop where you sell all your gold bars and black sand. No, you don't. You sell black sand just across the bridge there in the scrapyard ahead of us. So let's put up and get some fuel. So first of all, go inside. Again, here you can buy more gas. At the minute, what we're going to do is take all 10 of the big jerry cans, and we're going to transfill as many as possible with petrol. So we need to actually buy them first so that we can take them outside and put fuel into them. What I want to do is 5 at a time, just so I can make sure I have enough money to fill all 10. So simple. So bring them outside, place them here in front of the petrol. It is very annoying only being able to do one at a time, but yeah, it's not Gold Mine Simulator. We can't expect greatness at the moment. From what I know about the team behind the game, it is literally a one-man operation. And for the game that this guy's built, it is actually brilliant. I just hope he keeps going and doesn't run out of money or go bankrupt. So here on the front, you can see the price of the fuel at the moment. It is broken. Counts up. It'll fill up the $20 for, or 20 litres for $50. What I'll do is fill up each sweet tank here. Put the hose back. So $250 for 100 litres. Not too bad. So pay for that. Always remember to pay for your fuel. If you don't, you'll load it up and you drive away, all the fuel will disappear out of the tanks. If you don't pay for it, it is a nightmare. Especially when you stand and fill up the big fuel trailer. You have to stand and do it again. So this is why I left the space at the back, just to put I think we'll only fetch 5. But we can always come back for more later. Yeah, I can sit there. Here we go. Gonna go mine some gold. Maybe not. So one thing you have to watch out for is your vehicle fuel as well. I forgot to fill up. So there we go. Cool thing is, jump into your vehicle, watch the fuel indicator, you can actually see how sure it's getting. There we go, almost a fuel tank already. Well over $62, 25 litres. Remember to go and pay for it. There's no thieving allowed in this game. There we go. At some speed, with 55 miles an hour, you'll get out of the starter vehicle. It's not too shabby at all, especially for being free. I'm pretty sure if you look at the speedometer, there's a small range indicator on the bottom, the mileage. I'm fairly certain that actually works. It might not be entirely accurate, but I think it works. Now, here we are at the mine site. So, my first objective has always been to clear out the small bit of hill surrounded by the outline markers here. So what we're going to do is just put it up right to the top of it here. Right here. And this is going to be our first small mining spot. So first thing we'll do is unload the hive anchor. Just going to set it right here for a few minutes until I get the mats on it. Fairly simple to install. So small ones, they go up top here, simply put them in and unroll. That's I'm ready to go. And the larger ones come down the bottom here. Crap, where'd that go? This annoys me quite severely at times. My fingers don't work too well with disability, so bear with me. There we go. The height banker itself is pretty much ready for use. Now we'll get a water supply set up for it. So what we want to do is just place it right here, just outside the boundary markers of the claim, and freeze it in place. Now, as I was saying about these big green tubs, eventually you will move slightly away from where your high banker is. So I like to fill these with dirt and just use these to load the dirt directly into the high banker. Effectively you can put 25 large shovelfuls into this green tub, so it is pretty handy. So I tend to keep on this side for loading dirt in, and the second one will stay on the other side for emptying all the miner's mosses into. The hope is to try and get this full before doing any sort of clean out, but it will take quite some time as this is the largest container in the game. I think from memory it's maybe 80 litres. So it will take quite a few cleanouts to actually see any results in it. So right now, this is our water pump. It's not being very cooperative. So just freeze this in place too. Water pump should take fuel somewhere. But something seems to have gone along either with the pump. There we go. So we need our hoses, these two, and this one. If we connect the green hose here, and attach it on here. So all we do now is drop this into the water source. Actually quite good, and that should be our water. Now do not drop this into the river, it will not work. Bring it up to this pond. Simply drop it and away you go. You never need to worry about that again. Just leave it there. So until the point we actually get a lot of dirt coming out and into this container, there's little need to do anything more. So we're just going to start it up and start digging, and try and remove a fir part of this hillside from the markers here. Let's see. Wrong side. So simple as right here. Dig and simply drop until you fill the green container. As you can see, with every shovelful, the container visually gets a little bit more full. So realistically, about 25 to 30 shovelfuls should completely fill it. Don't worry if you see a lot of smoke coming in front of the TV. I'm just smoking a split. So what I'm going to try and do here is aim for maybe 45 minutes to an hour of digging and picking through the plant, and we'll see what we end up with at the end in the moss mats. Getting quite full now. Realistically, one full green container should give us maybe 20% in the moss mats. So it's going to take quite some digging. We'll go, we're full. What we'll do is run around and simply keep doing this. Empty the whole container on and let it run through. For those who want to be very fuel efficient, you could leave your water pump off and only turn it on when your big container's full. Just run it all through and then turn the water pump off again. It does run down pretty quickly, feeds through. See, this one container has already filled the high banker now 8 times. 9. So that's 11 times. There's still a little bit of dirt left in it. Let's put the last of it in. And that's it empty. So there we go, we're almost at 10% in the miners losses already. Let's try to have some sort of fuel efficiency because it is expensive. Let's empty the hole with already. It does get very deep very quick. Right, the only point behind the green container is as the hole gets bigger, obviously we move a little further away from the high banker, so it just gives us a bit of mobility more than anything. What I like to do is not to dig too deep and to effectively dig in a layer and then go layer by layer down the side of this hill as a starting point. This hole's almost deep enough you could bury a body in it now. Not that we would condone such things, of course. Go for it again. Just checking how long the video's been running now. Half hour. That's one thing annoys me, the little bits that float in the air. I do wish it would just fall to the ground. But yeah, hopefully tonight we'll be able to get the moss mats filled 100% and get the first stamp emptied into the green container over there. Realistically, for the first queen oats in the topsoil, you'll maybe get 2 ounces per 100%, so it is pretty slow going. I think in order to fill this green container, we may need to fill the high banker here about 40 times over. So it's quite some process. But realistically, I would hope for 80 to 100 ounces out of a container this size. What's going on with the car? Jumping about there. So basically, in principle, the large green container here works in the same way as the excavator bucket later on. It just feeds larger amounts in than your shovel can do in one scoop. You can also use the small white buckets, which have a smaller capacity. really can't wait to buy the large excavator. It will give the equivalent of maybe 300 shovelfuls currently into just one of its buckets. Crap I left the pump on. Doesn't really take much in terms of fuel usage. Now, for anybody wanting to further increase fuel efficiency, you can buy a large hopper feeder to place over the top of the high binder. Costs about $10,000. What you do is just fill the hopper feeder completely, then turn it on, turn the pump on, let all the dirt run through, and turn the pump off again. In my experience, a hopper feeder will fill a high binder to around 33% on a full load in the hopper feeder. It's a pretty good investment. All you have to do is position it here directly above the feeder here. Just to show, so all we do is put the dirt from here into the big container, and we just keep going until this fills up, and then we'll do a full clean out on the container. But this is pretty much it for now anyway. I will do a longer video tomorrow and do quite a lot of digging. I don't really intend to cut anything out if possible, so there will literally just be hours of digging and maybe a bit of a jackass, to say the least. But hopefully you stick with me through it. Talk to you tomorrow.